Next Monday's film is set in the twilight world of the New Orleans gambling clubs, where Steve McQueen plays the most ambitious gambler of them all, the Cincinnati Kid. Also starring Edward G. Robinson. That's next Monday at 9:25. Well, on BBC Two shortly, there's music from Bernadette, Colleen, Linda and Maureen, collectively the Nolans. While on BBC One, we begin a new monthly series in which Michael Wood takes on the role of resident moviegoer, reporting on what's now showing.
Hello. I'll be here over the summer looking back each month at some of the recent cinema releases so that you don't feel starved of regular film news. Because, contrary to common belief, films, and good ones at that, do open when the sun shines. So what's been happening in the film world in April? Well, such august names as Laurence Olivier, Robert Bolt and John Schlesinger, among others, have been putting down their ideas to save the British film industry in a letter to the Times, suggesting, for one, that the TV companies make more of a financial contribution to the film industry. And as if to reinforce the above gentleman's pleas, came the depressing news that cinema admissions crashed to an all-time low last year. On the brighter side, Francis Coppola has put in a bid for Britain's Pinewood Studios, at present owned by Rank. And on the film production scene, things are looking up a bit. Lindsay Anderson is to direct Britannia Hospital, a comedy on location in England. And writer-producer Carl Foreman is planning to film 2 major projects in Britain. But perhaps the most controversial happening in the film world this month has been the news that John Hinckley, alleged would-be assassin of Ronald Reagan, shot the president in a gesture to his fantasy love figure Jodie Foster, the 18-year-old film star of Taxi Driver and Bugsy Malone. Her latest film, Foxes, has just opened in London, perhaps cashing in on all the publicity surrounding the Reagan affair. It's the story of 4 Los Angeles teenagers from broken homes who are trying to set up together and find some sort of sense in the big bad world of the City of Angels. Here they are, at the start, all camped out in Jodie's house.
How's your head?
A whole bunch of people just moved in. I think of it a bar.
You don't look sick.
I just got to taste some lunch.
Anybody want to ditch 6th period and go to the beach?
I got a hair appointment at Saks.
I sure can ditch. It's just phys ed. You can ditch that.
What are you going to do with your hair? Mom's after me to have it chopped so I can look like Dorothy Hamill. What? Well, she doesn't dig me wearing her clothes, you know, and having all the guys think I'm mature, okay? Like they'd be coming on to me and not looking at her.
Oh.
Get him to chop your head instead, Deirdre. That's pretty retarded considering who it was sick all over that guy's car last night.
Who cares?
He cares, don't you care?
I didn't even know him. Besides, it was this really gross Trans Am with some jerk-off dragon blowing smoke all over the hood.
Was he cute?
Who? The geek in the car, Geekaloid.
The only geek I know is Randy Terratunian. So you're the one who thinks he's hot.
I do not.
Oh, you said you want to go with him.
I never said I want to go with him. I said I want to ball.
Whoa, excuse me.
Did you tell your dad that you were staying over at my house last night?
I gotta call him.
Guess what? For an elaborate change, we are late again. I don't believe this. I do not believe this. Come on.
I'm always getting tardies.
Anybody seen my keys?
No, not again. You seen the keys?
I don't know.
My keys!
20th century foxes, as the rock poet of Los Angeles, Jim Morrison, put it, hustling through the city of night. And the city of night is well portrayed, too. The American dream here looks like a dirty back lot roamed by snazzy black pimps and poor whites out for a fight, where evil is a big hole you fall into if you don't keep your eyes on the road. They'll hypnotize you like a cobra, says Foster, and the next thing you know, you're out on the street dressed like the Pointer Sisters. These teenagers have long abandoned 7-Up and Mom's apple pie. They're short 40-year-olds into tequila, drugs, and sex. Their talk is of alimony and diaphragms. There are good performances from the four girls, especially the formidably assured Jodie Foster, and Cherry Curry as the doomed Annie with her fallen angel looks. The film is well directed by Adrian Lyne, another of the British School of TV advert directors making his film debut. And I actually found it watchable, although it made me feel very old. And in the end, I suspect that the realism of Fox's hides huge dollops of good old American sentimentality about kids, a kind of 2-hour teeny version of Leader of the Pack. I mean, where will it end? A film about an 8-year-old drug addict roller disco champ living with a 40-year-old failed movie star? Here's Jodie Foster telling Cherry Curry what life's really about.
I'm going to Oregon.
Oregon?
Bert's up there.
Another dirthead.
He's measuring trees.
Look, I'm living alone right now. My mom moved out. I don't know what the hell she's doing with her life, but that's her business, okay? I'm willing to take you on for a couple weeks, but not if you're just gonna go out and get loaded all the time, you understand?
I'm going to Oregon.
You can't even walk with one foot in front of the other. Come on now, Annie. Annie! 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 Listen to me. I'm getting real pissed. Stop. Listen to me. God damn it. Listen to me. If you're gonna stay with me, you gotta go by the rules. And the rules are, we're gonna get through this high school. We're gonna pay back Jay and get jobs and a bunch of shit like that. And if you don't like that, that's just tough shit. Because that's the way life is, and you better learn to eat a little. And I'm not coming back for you every time you goddamn blow it.
You know, no one can take a joke anymore.
Although Roman Polanski has made a string of films that have been both critically and commercially successful, such as Rosemary's Baby and Chinatown, it's rather unfortunate that he's perhaps most famous or infamous for the controversies surrounding his private life, the latest being his jumping bail from America to a hideout in France, where he made his latest film based on the Thomas Hardy novel Tess of the d'Urbervilles. It tells of the ill-fated and three-sided love story of Tess, Nastasia Kinski, her distant cousin Alec, Lee Lawson, and her true love, Angel Claire, Peter Firth. Tess is a marvelous film. Some critics have bemoaned its lack of fire, but for me it was the barely stated which most effectively suggested the underlying passion. This is Hardy's Tess cut to the bones. What Polanski's done is to take the essential cinematic elements of the Hardy story and tell them luminously. Nothing vital is missed, and there isn't one scene which doesn't make its mark. And so, although it's 3 hours long, there's no sense of slackness whatsoever. Every acting performance is first-rate, but Nastasia Kinski's is most impressive for an 18-year-old, the age of Tess in the book, incidentally. And for a foreigner at that, her Wessex accent is really well done. But even better, she creates a captivating balance between goodness, sensuality, and obstinacy. It's the tensions in her goodness which make it absorbing, and I personally found her passive acceptance of her fate totally convincing. The photography by Geoffrey Unsworth is ravishing. Unsworth died on location, and his work was finished by Ghislain Cloquet. Their joint Oscar was much deserved. Tess is, in fact, a British-made film with a British cast. It was filmed in France because Polanski would have been extradited had he made it here. It's a curiously selfless film for a former enfant terrible. But I suspect, though, that only Polanski could have made both a kind of masterpiece and a box office success out of Hardy. Credit where credit is due. Those critics who've carpingly suggested Polanski made the film only to curry favor in the States are being very silly and doing him a disservice. Anyway, here Tess, newly arrived on the d'Urberville estates, is taught to whistle by the man who will eventually ruin her, Alec, a cunningly ambiguous performance by Lee Lawson.
Nor art nor nature ever created a lovelier thing than you, Cousin Tess. To see that pretty mouth pouting and puffing away without producing a single note.
It's all a part of my work, sir.
Well, never mind, I'll teach you. I won't lay a finger on you. See? I'll stay exactly where I am. Now, you watch me. Don't scrap your lips too tight. Do it like this. Blow gently. Gently. Try. No, no, try again. Again. There. You'll manage splendidly now I've started you off.
And Tess can be seen all around the country as from yesterday. Andrzej Wajda, the Polish director, is in his own way and in his own country as controversial a figure as Roman Polanski, who was in fact himself born in Poland. But unlike Polanski, Wajda has chosen to remain in Poland to direct films through the government film agency, while at the same time expressing his dissatisfaction with the communist state through his films. His latest film is Rough Treatment. Recently, the 55-year-old Wajda has been accused of becoming middle-aged in art as in life, so Rough Treatment has come at just the right time for him, as well as being a highly prescient view of politics from Poland. Wajda says he made the film in a blind rage, and it shows. The film is absolutely riveting and could be mistaken for the work of an angry young man. It's about a top Polish political journalist who steps out of line and falls from grace both in his professional life and in his marriage. It has a superb performance by Zbigniew Zapasiewicz as the journalist Jerzy, at first complacent and pompous, later defeated and vulnerable, but still unbowed. The Polish title of the film is Without Anesthetic, which refers to Jerzy's refusing anesthetic from his dentist, but also to his refusal to be anesthetized by the system. A system where, as he learns, truth is a highly flexible concept. How well do the mass media serve the cause of truth, asks Jerzy at the start. It's a key question for us all, but especially for the Poles today. In this scene, dead against his impending divorce, he meets his wife's lawyer and discovers that the divorce involves more than he thinks.
Panie redaktorze, wie pan, moja rola ogranicza się tylko do udzielenia porady bawnej pana żonie, która chce rozwiązać małżeństwo państwa, uważając je za niewłaściwe. Ma zresztą konkretne zarzuty.
Co ona zrobi, jeżeli ja nie wyrażę zgody?
Jeżeli pan nie wyraża zgody, to wtedy my, według procedury musimy postąpić tak. Musimy udowodnić stały rozkład pożycia. Rozumie pan? To znaczy tak, niedobór seksualny, niełożenie na rodzinę, akty agresji, zaniedbywanie rodziny, no różne takie nieprzyjemne sprawy.
Ciekawe, jak wy możecie to udowodnić, jeżeli to jest nieprawda.
No, tak, no ale to się da udowodnić. Panie redaktorze, szczerze, tak szczerze teraz, wie pan, ja sam jestem pana wiernym czytelnikiem. Po co to pan? No po co? No, czy ludzie kulturalni nie powinni kulturalnie załatwiać takich spraw? No, czy niech pan pomyśli, nawet jeżeli wy uzyskacie ten rozwód. Przecież wyjdziecie ze sądu tak ze sobą skłóceni, tak się będziecie nienawidzieć. Są dzieci przecież. Czy moglibyśmy całą sprawę załatwić szybko, spokojnie, bezboleśnie? Ustalilibyśmy wspólne przyczyny rozkładu.
A problem polega na tym, że żaden rozkład nie istnieje.
Dobrze, więc ustalamy tak. Nie godzi się pan na uzgodnienie przyczyn rozkładu, treści pozwu oraz wniosek o rozwód bez orzekania o winie.
W ogóle się nie godzę na rozwód.
Dobrze. Przekażę pogląd mojej klientce.
No, swoją drogą ciekawe, jak ona może mi udowodnić jakąkolwiek winę.
Redaktorze, wie pan, z całym szacunkiem dla pana, ale nawet z kilkuletniej mojej praktyki muszę panu powiedzieć, że udowodnić to można wszystko. Każdemu z nas. A wina? No cóż, to jest pojęcie elastyczne, wynikające z oceny. Miło mi było pana poznać, redaktorze. Dziękuję.
Obviously, many more films open in a month than we can deal with in one programme. But here's a brief roundup of a few that have opened and will find their way around the country during the summer. Charlie Chan and the Curse of the Dragon Queen is the latest version in a long line of films about the Chinese sleuth who first hit the screen in 1929. The most famous interpreter of the role was Warner Oland, who played it 16 times. The new Chan is Peter Ustinov, and if history were to repeat itself, he could have a whole new career as the aphoristic detective who's been known to utter such lines as "alibi like dead fish cannot stand test of time." Lily Tomlin has had a checkered career, ranging through Robert Altman's Nashville to Moment by Moment, co-starring with John Travolta, which was a disaster for both of them. In her latest film, The Incredible Shrinking Woman, she plays both the wife of an advertising executive who finds that her husband's products are causing her to shrink to a mere 3 inches, and her own campaigning and interfering neighbor. In complete contrast, if your tastes run to schlock horror, David Cronenberg's newest offering, Scanners, went on London release yesterday and can be seen around the country in June. He's a Canadian director who terrorized us with Shivers and The Brood, and Scanners is in the same genre. April seems to be the month when the film companies put out their movies with a particular appeal to youngsters. And one of these is The Idolmaker, based on the career of Bob Marcucci, the New Yorker who made Frankie Avalon and Fabian pop stars of the 50s. So, Elvis is in the army, the Beatles haven't happened yet, but in New York's Little Italy, frustrated waiter and composer Vinnie Vaccari, played by Ray Sharkey, has the glint of gold Cadillacs in his eyes. Lacking the looks to match his talent, he decides to play Svengali to a small-time saxophonist in sharkskin shoes.
I've been in and I've been out. Baby, this time there ain't no doubt. Here is my love.
Wait a minute. Where do you think you're gonna be singing? A whole house, kid.
Hey, relax, man. I know what you gotta give the chicks. You gotta give them a thrill every once in a while. I gotta give it to them.
Okay, Pistolero, this is a junior high school. You do that, and you're gonna scare them half to death. They don't want a rapist. They want Prince Charming, you know? Somebody cute and safe. Okay? This time we're gonna lighten it up. We'll do it again from the top. All right? Ready? 2, 3, 4.
I've been up.
Hey, smile.
I've been down.
Light it up, baby. There you
I've
go.
been
Yeah, look at that.
playing
Look at
bush
that.
around.
Take the hand
I've
moves
been
away.
in.
Yeah.
I've been
Smile,
out.
baby. Hey,
Baby,
smile.
this
Yeah.
time there ain't no
Here comes the
doubt.
background vocal.
Here is my love. Woo. Here is my love. Here is my love, love, love. Yes, here is my love. And it's in your hands now, baby. So take it to your heart. Yes, here is my love. Oh, yeah. Here is my love.
Mindy, come on in. Come on.
I must confess,